All right. This is the third episode of the YouTube channel Honest D. I'm Don, and let's get into it. So, the topic today is college in your 30s versus college straight out of high school. I feel like not enough people talk about this. Okay, so let's start. What's the difference between going to college in your 30s and going to college in high school or straight out of high school? Being that I've done both, well, when I got out of high school, I went straight into college. Well, actually, I took a year off. Then I went to junior college, and I dropped out of junior college. And I remember, but I was there for a couple of semesters. And now I'm 36, and I'm back in college. This time I went back to junior college, finished junior college. Now I'm at university, and so I have a perspective of both. So what's the difference? I would say that the difference between college straight out of high school and the difference between going to college in your 30s or mid 30s even, I would say you have a better sense of self. So if you go to college in your 30s, it's for a reason. It's like because you want to do something, or because what you thought you wanted to do wasn't what you wanted to do, and now you know, or kind of have an idea more so of who you are and what it is that best suits you in life. So you have more life experience. You have a better sense of self. When you go to college straight out of high school, you're doing it for a whole bunch of different reasons that really have nothing to do with you. When I went to school straight out of high school, or college straight out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I assumed I knew what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist because they might make a lot of money, and it's in the health field, and I was like, oh, it would be cool to tell people that I was it sounded like a prestigious job, like a physical therapist. Like, my dad was a personal trainer, and I was gonna get certified to be a personal trainer, but I was gonna one up the personal trainer thing and become a physical therapist. So I had that, but I didn't really know if I wanted to be a physical therapist. I didn't even know what physical therapy entailed. I had no idea what physical therapy was. I also thought, that was actually the extent. I would go to college, out of high school. I hated school. I hated high school. At least my senior year, I hated it. I went to a lot of different high schools. I was one of those kids who went to 3-4 different high schools. I went to 4 different high schools actually. And during when I was heading into my senior year, I would say I was over school. But the natural next step, while I was still living with my mom, I thought was I probably thought college would, at least junior college, like a local junior college, would buy me some more time living with my mom. And this way I would appear to be on or headed to something. So my college career straight out of high school was never built on a solid foundation of actually wanting to go, knowing what I wanted to do, having a plan of some sort. It was just I guess this is kind of what I'm supposed to do. and I'm gonna pick this thing which I have no idea what it entails, how much work it's gonna be to get there, what the career is actually gonna do, what kind of jobs it'll allow me to get. What I don't know anything. And the funny thing about that is that a lot of the kids that go to my university right now are like that. Like, I ask them, like, what are you gonna, like, a couple people I kind of am around a lot are bio majors. Now, bio major, great degree in STEM, cool. Probably gonna go somewhere in the medical field, but or any bio major I've talked to, it's like, what can you do with that? What are you gonna do with that? And they say, I don't know, I don't even know what I want to do. They say it with like confidence, like they are not even in there. It's not even like, oh, I kind of don't know what I want. It's not, they're not embarrassed about not knowing about what they want to do with it. They're just like, of course, they're like, they look at me as if, of course, I don't know what I want to do with the degree that I'm working 4 to 6 years for. I'm 19, I'm 20, I'm 21. Like, I'll figure it out type of energy from most of them. And I kind of feel like, and that's not all, because a lot of the other majors that are, a lot of the other people I hang out with, that are, 19 to 21 years old, that have their majors, they have a plan, and I'm always surprised to see that. I'm like, damn, this kid already gets it. Like, he already knows, and they're adamantly looking for internships and know what career path they want to do and have a 5-year plan. And I'm always, shocked. I was not that kid. I was the first kids I was talking about, where it's like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do with this. So, and I would say, honestly, other than the smarter gentlemen that and women that young women that I have talked to that actually know what they want to do, far few and in between. Most of them do not have a clue, and they're just kind of there for right now, figuring it out. A lot of people say that's what the college experience is for. I don't understand that. Like, your college experience is kind of for you to figure out who you are and what you want to do. Okay, cool, fine, sure. You get 2 years to do that, then you pick like whatever it is you're gonna major in, and then hopefully you pick the right major. Here's the problem: when you're 19 to 21 years old, you have no idea about yourself. You have not been through life yet. You don't know what you're capable of. You've never been through much. For the most part, you haven't been through a lot of adversity. You just haven't been through a lot of life. You haven't experienced the workforce. You haven't experienced entrepreneurship. You haven't experienced what you're capable at all in the real world. You're capable of. So you just don't have, like I said, back to the beginning, is that the difference is when you're a kid, you don't really know who you are. And even if you do have your 5-year plan and you're really organized and you're really driven and you really believe that you know what you want to do, how you're going to get there, you're goal oriented, like I said, like you have the path, you still don't know who you're going to be in 10 years. You don't know how your personality is going to shift. You don't know how you as a person is going to evolve. You don't know how your values in life are going to change. You don't know what you value. You have no idea about anything. You're basically a big kid who hasn't been through much. And I would even say that about the ones who have it figured out. So that's what you're dealing with when you're straight out of high school going into college. Now, when you're going to college in your 30s, like I said, you have a better sense of self. Your brain has matured. what I noticed is that I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but what I've noticed about myself in my 30s, and I would have never known this about myself, but myself in my 30s as a student, as a 36-year-old as a student, and myself as a 20-year-old as a student, I feel like I'm actually smarter. I feel like I digest information better. I feel like I just feel like my brain has developed, and that could be because our brains actually are not fully developed until we're like 25 or 26, I think, for males. So I noticed that. I was like, wow, I feel like one of the smart kids. Now that could just be because I'm more driven and focused, and I'm actually at school taking it seriously. I think that has a far greater role in why it is I'm a lot more successful as a student in my 30s, prior in my 20s. I think like I was a C student. I was a totally average student. I mean, when I went to junior college, I did step it up. I got like C's, B's, and I'm maybe an A. But I had to work really, really hard to do that. And I wasn't taking hard classes to do that. I didn't even have stat classes. Like, I didn't have a lot of coursework, or I wasn't taking even a lot of classes during the semester. Now I have like a full load. I'm a computer science major, which is an extensive major. The classes in it, they're pretty demanding. And I feel like now I'm just, I don't know, things click a little better. I still have to work really hard to get good grades, but now I'm like almost a straight A student. And hopefully it keeps going that way, but what I would say is that when you're in your 30s, going to school, you're just, that's going to be your difference, your purpose, why you're there. You're there for a very specific reason. You're going to do better because at this point in your life, I know as a 36-year-old, I'm not as distracted. I don't care about anything I cared about as a 21-year-old. I've done it. I've been there. I've done it. I have 19 and 20-year-olds asking me to go to fucking dorm room parties and keggers, and nah, man. I'm not hanging. You're cool people, all very intelligent. I'm telling you, when you get to 36, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to these parties. I'm not trying to live that experience. That's the other thing is that when you go to college, straight out of high school, you're literally going to live this movie you've seen. So whatever movie of your generation was that college movie, that was like parties. For me, it was old school. For you, it's for the new generation, it's like whatever. I don't know what's going on, but you're gonna live that. You're going to, like, that's what you anticipate. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get to college and party and like and just not focus on school. I can't wait to have my college experience, like getting with women, going to frat parties, just worried about all this stuff, just so distracted with stuff that means absolutely nothing. In your 30s, you're not distracted by that. You understand that that's meaningless. So, and it's not meaningless, actually. I would say when you're young, it's probably an important part of your human experience. When I know when I was 19, all I cared about was partying. All I cared about was hanging out with my friends, where the girls at, let's get fucked up and have a great time, and that's what life is, and that's what life's about for the next whatever years. So I get it. I feel like I lived that experience. I'm very fortunate I had that experience, and so I'm not knocking any of that. I'm just saying these are the things that you're going through in college. So I don't know if you're getting the most out of it right out of it's ironic, like right out of high school you're going to college. I don't know if it's going to be the most useful years of or like the most productive years that you're going to spend these are the next 4 to 6, like I said, 4, 6, 8 years of your life. I don't know if it's going to be the most productive if you're going in with that mindset, which I think, you know, if not a majority of the students, like half of the students are doing that. I would say some of them, like I said, there's those that are taking it very seriously, aren't partying at all, and already have a very matured mindset and are very like goal oriented and trying to get to the outcome as soon as possible. So yeah, I would say that's like the big differences between going to college in your straight out of high school and going to college in your 30s. Is like focus, you know what you want, you know who you are, you know what's gonna fit your archetype as a person. You know, you like what you're going for matches you. You're not just doing it for like money. You're not just doing it for to like please your family. You're not doing it for any external reason outside of yourself. Like I said, you have a better understanding of who you are, and you're probably gonna choose something that aligns with that. In high school, you would be hard pressed to even know who you are as a person. So I would say that would be the difference. With that said, it's almost, dare I say, better to go as an adult, like in your 30s. If you're going to go to school and spend the money, and side note, a lot of people think college costs a lot of money. Not if you do well as a student. Today, college they have incredible financial aid. And the better you do in school, if you go to a junior college first, I'll say this. If you go to a junior college first, one, you can get your FAFSA, that's your financial aid. They will pay for your tuition and fees and give you a little bit of extra money depending on how much you make. If you make too much money to get the extra money, they're still gonna cover your tuition and fees. That means you're going to school for free. The first 2 years out of your 4-year bachelor, you can get done for free. And if you do that well, if you get like a high 3.0, which if you're an average person and you work hard, you can do that. If you get like a 3.5 and above, whatever university it is you're going to want to apply to and go to, one, they're going to accept you. They're more likely to accept you because you went to a junior college first. Right off top, you're getting up on the list because you already have half your shit done. So then they're going to look at your GPA. Oh, they're going to see, oh, this kid has a 3.7, 3.8. That's what I had. I had 3.78 or 3.8. And they say, oh, he's almost, he's above a 3.5. He gets this scholarship, this scholarship, this scholarship, that scholarship. Oh, he makes, whatever his income is, he gets this scholarship. On top of that, you're going to get your financial aid. For when I transferred to university, and I'm at a private school, I'm at a private university, which is far more expensive than public university. Not even close in the expense. I'm talking about $200,000-$300,000 more to attend, and but their subsidies are even better. I don't know why that is, but they give even more money. So I got my tuition and fees were covered. Now I'm staying in a dorm, and if you watch my first video that I put out, you'll find out why I'm staying in a dorm. I'm not going to go over all that again. That's a whole hour-long YouTube clip you can watch on my first video. But I got my tuition and fees covered, so full academic scholarship with financial aid, and all I have to do is pay for my stay. Now, sorry, went on a little tangent because I just want people to understand that are watching this video and possibly thinking of going to school, back to school in your 30s. Totally doable. Don't believe the hype that you can't afford it. You may not have the time, but you can afford it. Don't believe anybody that says you can't afford to go to school. Oh, you're going to have a bunch of college debt, this and that. Not if you go to junior college first and do well. I promise you, you'll have a little amount of debt, nowhere near the debt you think, and that'll be your experience. So, anyways, sorry, I got off and I don't really know what I was talking about before that, but I feel like that was important to say. Yeah, so we talked about the differences between high school in your 30s and high school straight out of high school, college in your 30s and college straight out of high school. We understand the difference. What's the other question? Okay. What's better? Oh, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so what's better? I would say college in your 30s or college out of high school. My opinion, college in your 30s, for sure. I think we should start a whole freaking movement of people that want to change careers or just get their life together. Like thinking about going back to school in your 30s, if you have the time and you don't have too much responsibility. Me personally, I don't have any kids. I am currently single. If you want to find out why that is, you can watch the first video. Again, it is what it is. That's what's going on. I don't have much responsibility. I was able to. Now, when I started going to school, I had a fiance. I had a lot. I had more responsibility. You know, I was just in a committed relationship. However, my ex was also going to school, so it like worked out. She had a kid too. So there was that responsibility. So anyways, you can do it. You can do it if you think you can. I've had a ton of responsibilities. I'm a personal trainer by trade, so I have clients. I have a whole bunch of I had to cut clients, of course, to do school, but I still work, and I'm going to university at the same time. So, and like I said, when I started, I was in a fully committed relationship, you know, having to pay rent for a house, work on the side, girlfriend, and a kid. He wasn't my biological kid, but I was treating him just like he was my kid. You know what I mean? Anyways, so you can do it. You can do it if that's what you're thinking about doing. That's what I'm saying. You can do it. Okay. And again, my opinion, better to go to college. I would say it's probably more, it's going to be more productive for you, and it's going to align with more of who you are if you do it in your 30s, in my experience, than if you do it straight out of high school. But I recommend either way going to school. Education, to me, I value it more later in my life, but I think everybody should have a college level education, regardless if you use it in your professional life or not. It's going to help you. Don't believe the hype. College has helped me grow, and I haven't even graduated. I haven't even gotten my bachelor's yet. Has helped me grow in ways that I never thought it would, and I actually regret that I didn't finish in the first place when I did, but I'm grateful that I'm going now. So That might contradict what I just said a little bit, but not really. It is what it is. All right. So I guess, yeah, would I rank out college later? So, okay. Pros and cons of going to college in your 30s. Pros, everything I just named. Know who you are, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about the cons. Let's talk about all the stuff that is kind of irritating in your 30s and the tough part. It's not all great. Like going to college. Okay, let's talk about the cons. Let me recall the cons when I went out of high school, when I was in high school. Just fresh out of high school, going to college, or at least 20 years old, going to college. Junior college even. You don't really know what you want to do. You're more liable to quit because you're young and you think you have forever in life. You're less committed to anything. You're okay. Those are all the kind of cons. The reason you don't enjoy college. Cons, I would say, is like reasons you're not enjoying your experience doing it. Okay, so yeah, like I said, as a 20-year-old, here are the things why. One, you probably don't like school. You don't like authority. You don't know why you're here. You don't know what you're gonna do. You don't know who you are. You only want to do this. You want to party more. You want to experience the romanticized version of whatever college movie it was that you experienced. You're like, you want to live this movie. Life is not a movie. So these are all the cons. Cons as a 30-year-old, you're in your 30s. I'm 36. I'm not a 30-year-old. 36 is different than 30. If you know, you know. So cons for doing that, I would say cons in your 30s. You're constantly reminded you're in your I know here for me personally, I can only speak for myself. My cons, the thing I don't like about being a college student as a 36-year-old is that I remind myself constantly that I'm a 36-year-old going to college. That's one. Two, as a computer science major, it's very difficult at times to where I question why I'm here. If I can, sometimes I'm like, man, do I need to switch my major? This is difficult. Second guessing your decisions as a 36-year-old is fucking scary. Like, you know, having those kind of thoughts. You're around a bunch of 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, which is a constant reminder of how old you are, how uncool you are, how your style. Now, actually, I'm not gonna lie and say that's my experience. I don't feel uncool around these kids at all. Actually, everybody's very pleasant for the most part. The social experience is like something I actually enjoy to have back. Like, I'm almost like, wow, this is part of the experience that I should have went to college when I was 9. I feel like if, you know, that's actually is, now that I think about it, is a major part of the experience is the connection and the social energy and all that. I know I was talking about that as if that were a con, but that's a major plus. It's nice to be around, even if they're 19, 20, 21-year-olds, they're super intelligent, and a lot of them have great heads on their shoulders, and it's awesome to be around that energy. Sorry, I know I'm talking about cons, but as I'm talking, I'm realizing what I'm saying. So so the cons I said before were actual cons, but the other one is, what are the cons? Yeah, I guess basically just being in your own head, like, which isn't like, if you like understand, in order for me to go to university, the one difference between junior college and university college is the university college is requiring a lot more of my time. I had to get rid of more clients, so I'm making less money, which is a risk, right? That's always a risk. To make less money means your lifestyle is going to shift again. So, and then the risk is like, I'm also, how much is this degree going to reward me? Like in a tangible way, like what's the outcome actually going to be? You know what I mean? You still don't know these. These are all variables. These are all like, you know, anything could happen, right? All right. So that isn't a con, but that is pressure. It weighs on you like anything else. You're like, man, like for me, I'm like, man, I might want to go grab another client, but if I get another client, it's going to affect my schooling, and then what am I doing this for? So you kind of have to weigh, your priorities have to shift again. So I would say that is the one difference. You're going to make less money going back to school because you're going to have less time to make money. That's going to be one of the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. It is what it is. If you're not ready to make that sacrifice, then school is going to be a difficult choice for you if you're planning on getting a bachelor degree. Now, if you're planning on getting just your associates, you could take night classes, you can take 2 classes here, 1 class here. You could do whatever you want. You could also do that, I guess, at university, but if you don't want to take 10 years to get a freaking bachelor degree, then you're gonna do what I'm doing, and you're gonna try and, let's get it, let's go. Luckily, I am currently a personal trainer, so I, for the most part, was able to adjust my schedule to my liking, and I didn't have to quit a job. I could just cut down clients, so I could make less money if I wanted to, and work less if I wanted to. So that's my personal situation. I understand also I can only speak to my personal situation. So all those of you that are self-employed, barbers, service providers, hairstylists, personal trainers, you own your own whatever, if you can cut down that, you're a lot more flexible than if you had a 9-to-5 if you had a job where you're given a schedule. It would be harder for you, so you would have to make some different decisions and think about those things, and which is also like, just, to get back to the con, that is the con of the thing, is like, if you had a work job where you were provided a schedule and you had more of a 9-to-5 lifestyle, you would have to talk to your boss if you were thinking about going back to school. Some companies, they pay for your school and they allot you the amount of time to do so. So if your company, like, figure it out. You can do it. I know, like, if you want to do it, you can find a way, because there's always a way, right? Okay, we understand that. But that is one of the cons. It's like figuring out how to do it, the adjustment of your lifestyle, understanding that you're already in your 30s and now shifting. But I'll say this, I started back school when I was 33, 3 years ago. When I was 33, and I started at 33 because I knew if I was going to do this, it needs to be now. You could do it at any time. There's a couple other students at the school I go to right now. They're probably in their 40s, but far few and in between. And the 2 that are housewives. Nothing against housewives. Love housewives, but they have a lot of time, and their kids are already grown. They're not taking care of kids. They have time on their side, and they have money. So they're in a whole different situation. They're not in, if you are not in that situation, that very specific situation, and you don't need to make money, you can, school is not, you can go back, because school is awesome, honestly, to go and get educated. to go and get educated and be able to have that growth again, that in you know, intellectually, and just like scratching that itch of curiosity again, that you know, that value, you can't put a price on that. So the con, you know, obviously the cons I said, like just in your head about your age, what you're doing, what can go wrong if you're that kind of person, that kind of worries sometimes. I don't worry all the time, but I'd be lying if I said those thoughts haven't crossed my mind from time to time. That would be a lie. That's not, you know, this is the Honest D podcast. So, you know, truthfully, yes, I have those thoughts right now, but for the most part, as far as pros and cons, far more pros. How I'm feeling right now, far more pros. I'm so glad I went back to school, and I can't wait you know, you want to talk, here's something else. Here's something else. I don't care about the outcome as much as I used to either. And that's not because I'm in my 30s. I think that's just self-growth that you can attain at any age, sometimes way later, sometimes way earlier. I feel like I got that super late in life, because even just last year, I was probably just like super outcome driven. Right now, I'm enjoying every moment I get. I praise God all the time for another day, every day that I get to be better than I was the last. I give all that glory to God, and I try and do my best in school, and I try to enjoy the process as much as possible. And that's really what it's all about for me. So as far as the outcome of this, not worried about that. I'm worried about really enjoying the curriculum, enjoying the time I get with the clients that I do have right now, just enjoying my life. I want to be here in the moment, present, even doing this right now. I want to fully embrace life more than ever at 36. And I think because I started school, it brought me to this state of mind, as well as God. So not to put that in there at the end, but I'm just saying it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? School and God, and that's just made me appreciate everything so much more. So I think we could wrap it at that. This is the Honest D YouTube channel. And this is just another video I'm posting. My name's Don. If you like what you're seeing, you want to continue to follow me, just subscribe, click the like button. I know they all say that. Now I'm saying it. But I think it does help the video reach people, and that's what I'm trying to do. What I'm actually trying to do is just share my experience, and hopefully it helps in some kind of way. That's it. God bless to everybody. All right, peace.